we have some really exciting news. We have a book that is now coming to D&D Beyond with a ton of monsters. Tell me about this book. It's the Tome of Beasts.
It is the biggest thing Kobold Press has ever done and our top seller to this day. It is a monster manual, right? 400 monsters for D&D, NPCs, familiars, dragons, all the big things are in there. And then a bunch of weird little stuff like, some alternative kobolds, like a kobold trapsmith.
Do you have some monsters that are your absolute favorites?
I have a lot of monsters that are my absolute favorites. All right. I'll do it. I'll flip around till I find my first favorite.
Okay.
I have to show the Void Dragon. Its breath affects gravity and shoots sort of radiant light, so it has 2 variable breath weapons. It controls sort of the dark between the stars. It's immune to cold. It's really nasty. It's meant to be as difficult as a red dragon, right?
Yeah.
And it's meant to be a little mystic and otherworldly too. So there are 5 dragons in the Tome of Beasts. They're basically elemental, right? There's wind for air. There's a flame dragon for fire. There's a cave dragon for the earth. There's a sea dragon for the water, which has a beautiful illustration by a blizzard art. And there's the void dragon, which is none of the above elements. Dark, evil, do not mess with.
Right. Were there any monsters in this book, in the time that it's been out, you were surprised that became popular?
The Alehouse Drake.
Oh, nice.
Which is a charming little barfly dragonette, right?
Yeah.
It's, 4 feet long, and it wants you to buy it a drink down at the bar. It's friendly, it's sociable, it hangs out. And it's like, well, every D&D adventure that starts in a tavern, maybe the tavern's got a dog, or maybe it's got an alehouse drake.
Is there a particular type of monster that is your personal favorite to run out of this book?
Oh, well, dragons are very near the top of the list. Kobolds are right up there, too. Golems don't speak, but I still like to run them.
Golems are fun.
I'm going to look at the table of contents, because every time somebody says favorite, I want to pick a different answer. Oh, right, the Umbral Vampire. So there's...
Ooh, what?
the Umbral Vampire is from a city lost in shadow. So it's a very shadow-infused take on the vampire stat block. But favorite to run? Oh, raven folk. Yeah, okay, rat folk. There are some animals. Oh, you know what's the most fun, though? The one that took over a campaign setting? The bear folk.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, my goodness. The bear folk, for whatever reason, immediately caught fan attention. They're like, okay, they're big, they're furry, they're mean. Can I play one? And the moment someone asked, I said, we probably should have provided a player character option for that.
Yeah.
And a year later we did, but it's in here, and it became part of the Shadow Realm. They're sort of immune to the effect. Actually, Shadow Vampire, Bear Folk,
yeah,
hereditary enemies.
Right. Guys, actually.
Yeah, it's just one of those creatures that everyone said, yeah, of course. And you see them sort of in cartoons and places, just like cat folk are in, I don't know.
My God.
Skyrim, Morrowind, everywhere.
I'm just live reacting because it's been a while. Skin bat.
Oh, yeah.
This seems like an unnecessary monster to me.
Yeah, bear folk are cuddly. Skin bats are not.
What was that?
We got that a lot.
A shelly coat?
Yeah, it's an old British folklore term for a kind of troll that lives not just under bridges, but in streams. It's sort of a water troll.
I'm sorry that I'm doing this in front of you, but I kind of have to do this.
What monster books are for, right? Flip through, find the one you like. Oh, and there's a bunch of tables in the back by CR, by terrain, by environment. Like, all that is easy to filter on D&D Beyond.
Yeah, right? now it's going to be like, because this is a weighty tome, you can actually look through this, but sarcophagus slime. Of course that happened. Man, this is all I want to do. Oh, sap demon.
Yes.
You know what you're getting. That's, the name on the tin.
Druids hate those guys.
Yeah, I'll bet. And like you said, you've got some Fey Lords and
yes.
Fey Shadow Lords in here.
The Fey Lords are great. Like, there's a Queen of Night, there's a Bear King, there's the Lord of the Hunt.
Multiple drakes.
Multiple drakes. Well, the editors have always loved drakes because, they're easier to slot into a tier 1, tier 2 adventure. You don't need to be 10th level to challenge a Drake.
What I also like about this is that there is a nice selection of clockwork creatures.
Oh, God. I'm obsessed with them.
Yeah.
Thus Steam Golem. Thus Zobek the Clockwork City. Yes. So there's clockwork hounds and hunters and myrmidons. And if you are doing anything in that steampunk mode, there's like 6 or 10 creatures, right? There's a library automaton that just wants to return your books before you are fined.
I love that. I just love the amount of different creatures. Like, this is like something for everyone in this.
Right. There are weird planar creatures. There are cutesy things. There are forest and mountain and underground creatures. Like, we tried to balance it out as best we could. And then we put weird stuff in the back, like the Bandit Lord is an NPC.
Yeah.
Which I'm always like, my bandits are fine, but I really want to give them a boss that's a little scarier.
Yeah.
And a City Watch captain who's highly useful. There's some really useful fillers where back in the early days where we're like, the monster manual's great, but there's a CR gap here. So there's stuff like the Shroud, which is perfect for level 1 and 2 adventurers who want to fight a wispy, ghostly undead, but cannot handle a banshee or a wraith. So it covers a ton of ground.
Why do you love doing this?
Part of it is just purely, I got into D&D at about age 12, and it's always been part of my life, like dreaming up new monsters, trying to put the scare in people. At 12, I wasn't very good at putting the scare in people. I've gotten better. But, when I first learned what arachnophobia was, I'm like, wow, none of my players are arachnophobic. They squash spiders on. I wonder what they are afraid of. So, some of it is monsters touch human psychology at our most fearful point, basically, right? Like, what are you afraid of? Here, let me show you.